Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Gauranitai, Jayo Gauranitai. Nitai Gaura Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo. Nitai Go, Jayo Jagana, Jayo Baladev, Jayo Subhadra. Jayo Radha Madhava Radhe. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Jaya Om Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Pravajakacarya Astota Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Shikha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadwaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Radha Kun Shamakun Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai, Burhat Murdanga Ki Jai, Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhutam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhanusute Deve Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate kirim yadkripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone for today's ecstatic discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam. First of all, I would like to Hare Krishna. First of all, I would like to beg for all your blessings, both the devotees on site and the devotees online, to properly discuss today's topic. Today we are going to read Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, entitled Further Inquiries by Vidura, text 29. Please read after me. varṇāśrama-vibhāgāṁś rūpa-śīla-svabhāvataḥ ṛṣīṇāṁ janma-karmāṇi vedasya ca vikarṣaṇam 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 varṇāśrama-vibhāgāṁś rūpa-śīla-svabhāvataḥ ṛṣīṇāṁ janma-karmāṇi vedasya ca vikarṣaṇam. Vaishnavis. varṇāśrama-vibhāgāṁś rūpa-śīla-svabhāvataḥ ṛṣīṇāṁ janma-karmāṇi vedasya ca vikarṣaṇam varṇāśrama-vibhāgāṁś rūpa-śīla-svabhāvataḥ ṛṣīṇāṁ janma-karmāṇi vedasya ca vikarṣaṇam. Word for word. varṇa-āśrama. The four divisions of social statuses and orders of spiritual culture. Vibhāgān, respective divisions. Cha, also. Rūpa, Personal features. Šīla-svabhāvataḥ. Personal character. ṛṣīṇāṁ, of the sages. Janma, birth. Karmāṇi, activities. Vedasya, of the Vedas. Cha, and. Vikarṣaṇam, categorical divisions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. A great sage kindly describes the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. Also, please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Purport. The four statuses and orders of human society, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, as well as Brahmacharis, Grihastas, Vanaprasthas, and Sannyasis, are all divisions of quality, education, culture, and spiritual advancement attained by practicing control of the mind and the senses. All these divisions are based on the particular nature of each individual person, not on the principle of birth. Birth is not mentioned in this verse because birth is immaterial. Vidura is famous in history as born of a Shudrani mother, yet he is more than a Brahmana by qualification because he is seen here to be the disciple of a great sage, Maitreya Muni. Unless one achieves at least the Brahminical qualifications, one cannot understand the Vedic hymns. Mahabharata is also a division of the Vedas, but it is meant for women, Shudras, and Dvija Bandhus, the worthless children of the higher section. The less intelligent section of society can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. Please repeat the translation after me. Oh, great sage, kindly describe the divisions and orders of human society in terms of symptoms, behavior, and the characteristics of mental equilibrium and sense control. And please describe the births of the great sages and the categorical divisions of the Vedas. Thank you. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm for studying Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, inside in this room, whatever we are doing, and outside, whatever they're doing, is similar in the sense that we are all welcoming the Lord. They're welcoming the Lord with great pomp, with kirtan, and we're receiving the Lord as Bhagavatam. They're worshiping, we can say, by their bodies, by their voice, by their arms, and they're dancing by their legs. But now here, we're also worshiping the Lord by our intelligence. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So we can see there are 3 points mentioned in the translation. One point is about the varṇāśrama, and another point is about the birth of the sages. And the last point is the categorical divisions of the Vedas. So we are now going to discuss them one by one. After reading Srila Prabhupada's purport, we can understand in this purport, Srila Prabhupada, his main aim is not to describe what duties of each varna or each ashram should perform. That is not his purpose. His aim or purpose is to emphasize that birth is not the most important. Actually, it is not important at all. The most important is rūpa-śīla-svabhāvataḥ, the features and the behaviors like conduct, and also what kind of control you have upon your mind and your senses. This would decide a person can be situated in which varna and which ashram. We can see that in Srimad Bhagavatam 11th canto, in chapter, there's actually at least 3 chapters describing the varnashram dharma. And now we're going to draw some essence from all of these descriptions and to understand why Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing that the qualities, like in Bhagavad Gita is that karma and guna are most important. It's not the janma, it's not the birth. But first of all, we have to understand the history of varnashram dharma. At the beginning, in Satya Yoga, there's no varnashram dharma because everyone in that age is called a hamsa, means paramhamsa. Everyone is already a pure devotee of the Lord, and they can meditate and they perform pure devotional services. That's why Satya Yoga is also called Krita Yoga, means everyone is performing pure devotional services. So there is no necessity of the existence of the varnashram dharma system. But then in the next age called Trita Yoga, the 4 legs of the bull, legs 1, that means the degradation of the age starts. And then the conditioned souls become really contaminated. From that point, the Lord instituted this varnashram dharma system. In Satya Yoga, everyone is an expert of the scriptures. If you just say one word, Om, then you understand everything. You have such ability that simply by hearing or chanting this one word, Om, you can grasp the whole Vedas. But then in the Trita Yoga, people are not so fortunate. They become conditioned. That's why the Vedas, they're divided in 3 parts, become Riga Veda, Samaveda, and Yajurveda. And we understand as the ages progresses, people are becoming more and more contaminated, and they need more purification. And the process become more and more detailed. And even the scriptures seems to become more complicated. At the end of the Durpa Yoga, Vyasadeva divided the Vedas into 4. Not only Riga Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, but also Atharva Veda. And there are so many subdivisions. So we can understand one thing, the situation is getting worse, it's not getting better. And then, so we understand this varnashram system is a purificatory system because everyone in this material world is conditioned. We quote Srila Prabhupada's words that all the conditioned souls are considered mad. In the beginning of the 5th canto, 5th chapter, Radha Devi, he's instructing his 100 sons. He said, Nunam pramata kurudhe vikarma. Indeed, nunam indeed. That pramata means mad. And when Srila Prabhupada is giving classes on this verse, he said everyone is sufficiently mad. What is the meaning of sufficiently mad? That means we're not only mad, but we are extremely mad. We cannot become more mad. Therefore, kurute, we're performing vikarma, the forbidden actions in the Vedic scriptures. And what is a symptom of madness? The symptom madness is that you do something actually harm your own interest. You harm your own benefits. That's what we are doing, the conditioned souls. There's so much engrossed in sense gratification. That is called madness. And we take the aim of life simply as sense gratification. And we accept material bodies one after another. But we don't know this material body is the cause of all our sufferings. Therefore, in order to cure this kind of madness, and the Lord organized such a wonderful system of varṇāśrama dharma, actually is to give us some therapeutic behavior treatments to cure our madness. That's why in the varṇāśrama system, the status of the spiritual master is very important. The Lord wants to give us a gradual process to engage those who are engrossed in karma in some activities, and then gradually we can be regulated, and slowly we can be elevated to the level of prema, to pure love of Godhead. This is the whole purpose. Actually, the whole varṇāśrama system is an educational system. It's also like a hospital system. All the conditioned souls are like mad patients. And the spiritual masters, they're like psychiatrists. So the psychiatrist has to tell the mad patients, you should do this. You should wake up early, you should attend Mangala Arti, and you should study the scriptures, and you should chant, and you should do this, you should do that. So slowly we get purified, and then we become not contaminated, so we become elevated to the real level of the human beings. Actually, in 2013, there's one Vyasa Puja homage by Giriraj Maharaj. In that article, he mentioned one incident. He said at the beginning of their preaching in India, they are meeting with so many so-called orthodox Indian brahmanas. One time they're visiting one devotee in Madras, and there is an interesting discussion between Achyutananda Swami that time and the host. So the host said, you should follow this varṇāśrama dharma, and by purification, if you nicely do everything in this life, the next life you can take a birth as a brahmana. Then you can achieve the perfection of life. So at that time, Achyutananda Swami asked him one simple question. Okay, you are thinking the birth of a brahmana is very high, but what about the chanting of the holy names? What about the power of performing devotional service? Which is more powerful? Is the chanting of the holy names is more powerful, or the sin is more powerful? Because you are taking birth in different varnas, in different, and then you are engaged in different ashrams. This is actually the result of your prarabdha karma. We understand, according to Padma Purana, there are 4 stages of the sin. There is stage, the first stage is aprarabdha. You did something, but there is no effects at all. Nothing is manifested. And then the next stage is kutam. Kutam means psychological proclivity. For example, someone, he steals, but then he escapes. Nobody can catch him. But then he develops a kind of a psychological proclivity. So next birth, he tends to be cheating, not honest. And then the third stage of sin is bijam. It's a seed. This seed is manifested in the form of material desires, sinful desires especially. I want to steal. This life I also want to steal. And then the last stage is prarabdha karma. It's matured. You really steal. And then this life, you are caught by the police and put in the prison and suffering. And this is only example. Actually, according to Srila Rupa Goswami, if you are born in a very low family, or if you're very ugly, you're not so much educated, or you are involved in some lawsuits, and you're struggling so much, these are all the matured results of our karma. And because they are manifesting, so they are called prarabdha karmas. And so taking birth as a Shudra, or taking birth in a caste lower than the Brahmanas, is the mature manifestation of our prarabdha karma. That's why the Brahmana in Madras telling all the devotees in ISKCON visiting his house at that time that if you nicely perform whatever you should do, and then next verse you can become a Brahmana, and then you can achieve the real result of the life. But then the devotees are educated by Srila Prabhupada. So they ask the question, if you think like this, then please tell me, which one is more powerful? The power of the chanting holy names of the Lord is more powerful, or the sin is more powerful? Then at that time, this Brahmana has to admit the chanting of the holy name is more powerful. Because actually, according to all the scriptures, the chanting can eradicate all the sinful activities. And chanting is only one anga of the devotional service. And in Canto 6 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Yamaraj is telling his servants, Yamadutas, he said, Etavan eva lokesmin. Anyway, Etavan eva lokesmin. And then he said, devotional service beginning with the chanting of the holy names of the Lord is actually the ultimate religious principle for all living beings in the human society. Etavan eva lokesmin. Pamsam dharma parasmritaha bhakti yogo bhagavati. And then nama grahanadi bhi. So this is the ultimate religious principle. Varṇāśrama dharma is instituting dharma. And the real dharma, what is the real dharma? The real dharma is not that we become religious and then we can make our economic situation become developed, and then we can obtain sense gratification, and then maybe we can get liberation. That is the Purusharthas, the ordinary people's pursuits. But the real purpose of Varṇāśrama dharma is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto, second chapter, it is mentioned varṇāśrama-vibhāgāṁś. And then it is mentioned that samsitir haritoshanam, that this varṇāśrama dharma, swanustitasya dharmasya, the perfection you can achieve through performing all the duties in the varnas and dharmas is to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we know the real purpose. And then Shukadeva Goswami emphasized the same point to Parikshit Maharaj at the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam in Canto 12, Chapter 3, verse 59. Kale dosha nite rajam asti heko mahang gunaha kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vraje. So that means simply by the chanting of the Lord's holy names, you can eradicate all the sinful reactions. And then you can achieve the supreme goal, the abode of the Lord. And then at the very end of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 13, verse 23, Sutta Goswami, he told the sages in Naimisharanya that Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamuduka Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Param. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So this means I'm offering my respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if by simply offering obeisances unto Him, one can be relieved from all material miseries. And the chanting of His holy names can eradicate all the sinful reactions. Such is the power of the holy name. And also, Shukadeva Goswami told Parikshit Maharaj that Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnur, that this Jagam Mangalam Anhasam Mahatam Mapi Kauravya Vidhikantika Niskritam. That means this chanting of the holy names of the Lord has such a power that it can eradicate even the most sinful reactions one can perform. Therefore, it is considered, what is considered? The chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is considered the most auspicious activity in the whole universe. Jagam Mangalam Anhasam. And so therefore, Shukadeva Goswami is advising Parikshit Maharaj, please, you first understand this nicely. And then the others, they may also try to understand this. So now we understand the purpose of varṇāśrama, dharma. And so we understand it is not that we follow all the rules in the varna or ashram is the perfect goal. Actually, all the rules and regulations in the varna and ashram is to purify us and elevate us to a higher platform. And let us see from another point. At the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, in Canto 1, Chapter 1, Verse 11, there are more than 88,000 sages assembled in the Naimisharanya forest. And headed by Shaunaka Rishi, they're asking Sutta Goswami one question. You are very learned, so you please tell us, can you please select the essence of all the scriptures? Because there are so many scriptures elaborating, explaining different duties one should perform in different varnas and ashrams. So please you select those essence for us and explain to us how can we do and so we can achieve the highest goal, and how can we do so we can benefit all the living entities in the whole world. Then Sutta Goswami, he starts to narrate the whole Bhagavatam according to whatever he heard from his spiritual master Shukadeva Goswami. So we can see the main purpose is not to follow all the detailed, minute rules, because if you check all the rules, not even on different Dharma Sastras, even you look through, I saw very interesting points by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and also Srila Sanatana Goswami's Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas. There's so many rules, you completely become bewildered and you cannot follow them. It's really difficult. And in this, especially in this age of Kali, more and more become impossible. Then what we can do? The simple thing we can do is perform devotional service. Actually, if we divide devotional service, there are different ways to divide. We can divide devotional service into two parts. One part is ordinary devotional service. Another part is pure devotional service. So the aim, the focus is different. And then another way of divide devotional service, we can divide them into devotional service in sadhana bhakti, devotional service in bhava bhakti, and the devotional service in prema bhakti. But according to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he abstracts in instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he divided devotional service in another three ways. And one way is that the devotees are performing devotional services, but the karma and gyan are the main focus. And devotional service part is very, very insignificant. And then the second kind of devotional service is that we are performing mixed devotional service. We still have the elements of karma and gyan, but the devotional service become our main focus. But then the third category is very pure devotional service. In this scope, we cannot have any perception of karma and gyan. Just like there are three kinds of happiness. The three kinds of happiness, we can also see this in two aspects. One is the gross material sense gratification happiness. This is considered the lowest. And the second is the happiness we get by merging into the Lord's impersonal Brahman effulgence. And then the third happiness is the happiness of devotional service. But then in another aspect, there are also 3 degrees of devotional service. In devotional service, the happiness derived from sadhana bhakti, and the happiness derived from bhava bhakti, and the happiness derived from prema bhakti. And when we get the happiness coming from sadhana bhakti, we could feel, oh, this devotional service to the Lord is so nice. This happiness is superior to the happiness we derive from sense gratification and liberation. So it's superior. This is better than that. So we're a little bit ahead. But then we progress further. We come into the happiness of bhava bhakti. In this sense, the happiness we derived from devotional service is far more than the happiness we derive from the gross sense gratification, liberation. In this state of happiness, the happiness of sense gratification and liberation becomes insignificant. Now we are not simply a little bit ahead. Now we deride those happiness. They are so insignificant. But then we get the happiness of prema. At that time, what kind of happiness we can get? We could only feel that intense happiness reciprocating with the Lord and His pure devotees. We cannot even perceive the existence of the other 2 happinesses deriving from the sense gratification and the liberation. And then now it's time for us to think where we are now. So we can see, we can judge what kind of devotional service we are performing, what kind of happiness we are deriving. Are we completely free of all material miseries? I saw the devotees, almost all the devotees are shaking their heads. You're so humble. And maybe you're also very honest like me. Because I found out that according to Srila Rupa Goswami, that as long as we found out and we didn't get free from all our miseries, and we didn't develop all the good qualities, what is the meaning of this? This means we are still in sadhana bhakti, and we are not yet up to the point of nishtha, the steadiness. Because unless we reach the stage of steadiness in sadhana bhakti, the first 2 characteristics of the pure devotional service cannot manifest fully. They may manifest a little bit, but not full. What is the first 2 characteristics? Yes, Shubhadha, that is one. Another one, Kleshagni, yes. Kleshagni is the first one. Klesha and Gni. Klesha means the miseries, Gni means to get rid of. So first you should feel all my material miseries, they disappeared. But not like that. We are feeling we are still struggling, especially we have a lot of mental stress. Some other people said something, then we are so angry, maybe we give up eating. We become fasting, and maybe some other devotee did something, and we are thinking, why he or she did this to me? I cannot tolerate, and the whole night I cannot sleep. So if we are still in this stage, then we understand we are not even up to the nishtha stage of the sadhana bhakti. then what shall we do? We accept a spiritual master. Acharya mam vijanayam. This is also, this shloka is so famous, and it appears among the varṇāśrama dharma discussion in the 11th canto to emphasize the importance to find a spiritual master. And if we review the 64 angas of devotional service, there are different versions, like whatever version mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion, and there are also another list in Srila Prabhupada's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also there's another list by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Sri Chaitanya Shikshamrita. The details are different. Some are divided and some are added, but we see the first three everywhere is the same. What are the first three? Yes, to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. That means you have to take initiation from him. And then you have to follow his instructions. And then the third one, you have to serve him. You must serve your spiritual master. And you have to inquire from him. And the first 10 items in this devotional service are considered the entrance door of bhakti. If we want to go back to Godhead, this is the entrance door. We have to start from here. And now I'm going to reveal a secret to all of you. The secret is, we have mic, it's good. I would like to have all of you first guess. What is the original cause of our offending the Lord and falling down from our position? What is the original cause? So we can pass the mic, and then everyone can contribute. Yes, please try. Think all the reasons we could think of, and then we see what Srila Prabhupada said, and what the other acharyas said.
It's because of envy.
Because of envy, yes. And then, any other additions? Yes.
Desire for enjoyment, like we want to enjoy something.
We want to enjoy something by ourselves.
Why should I serve someone? I want to enjoy my own.
We want to enjoy something by our own. Yes. And then, there's another opinion.
As per Shastra, there is no original cause. We are in the material world since Anadi. So we are covered in avidya since Anadi. That's the conclusion.
Hare Krishna. There's also another opinion.
Offenses to devotees and inattentive chanting.
Offenses to devotees and inattentive chanting. Hare Krishna. Any other new opinions? Yes, Prabhuji.
We fall down from our real ego.
Fall down from our real ego.
So we get into a false ego.
Yes.
That's why we are here.
Yes, avidya. Yes, this is also reasonable because Srila Rupa Goswami, he also mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu why we are suffering because of three main reasons. We have material desire, and we are in ignorance. Actually, the main reason is avidya. We are in this ignorance. But then, what is the answer? What is the secret I want to share with all of you? This is from the purport of the 11th canto, chapter 5, verse number 3. Our BBT commentators, they're quoting from the commentary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This interesting sentence reads like this: the original cause of offending the Lord and falling down from one's position is one's not learning how to properly worship a bona fide spiritual master. I will repeat it again. This is really something new, right? Vishwanath Chakravarti said, the original cause of offending the Lord and falling down from one's position is one's not learning how to properly worship a bona fide spiritual master. We think more about all the other devotees' answers. Why we become envy? Because we envy in the spiritual world. In even the spiritual world, everyone has own spiritual master. Maybe it's a gopi or maybe it's a manjari, but we are not learning how to properly worshiping our spiritual master. We're thinking, why they can get such position? Why they can enjoy like this? Why not me? And also our ignorance is also related to this. We are ignorant. We don't know. This is the basis. We should first worship our spiritual master. That's why from the 4 ashrams, at the first stage, the brahmachari, he has to learn how to respect his guru. He has to follow whatever his guru said. And he's begging alms for a whole day, and he's coming back to the ashram. If the guru doesn't order him to eat, he has to fast. So this is to cultivate a kind of service attitude. And then slowly, slowly we turn back. We turn back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything is related to proper guidance. So I read it again once more. To give every one of us a profound impact. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the original cause of offending the Lord and falling down from one's position is one's not learning how to properly worship a bona fide spiritual master. Hare Krishna. So we have a few minutes left. I'm going to briefly cover the other 2 points. One point, it is mentioned that Vidura is asking Maitreya Muni to describe the births of the great sages. I also found some interesting quotes about this point, that to describe the births of the great sages can purify us very much. According to Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's in Adikanda, the 3rd chapter, is discussing the horoscope of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birth charts. And in that chapter, it is mentioned that the Lord's appearance days are very, very auspicious and sanctified. Even if you simply follow, observe the 2 days, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthday and Lord Nityananda Prabhu's birthday, then you can eradicate all your sinful activities. And it's the same effect that you worship the appearance days of the Lord's pure devotees, because the days of the Lord's appearance are very pure, and the appearance day of the devotees' appearance days are also very pure. And according to Srila Prabhupada, the appearance and disappearance days of pure devotees are the same. Why? Because they always have their prema consciousness, either before they come into this material world or during their staying in this material world or after they left their material body. They are always full of the characteristics of Sat Chit Ananda. And we can get same blessings from a devotee's appearance day and also from his disappearance day. Actually today, it's a very important day. Today is the disappearance day of Vakishwar Pandit. He's one of the most important associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. According to Srila Prabhupada, he is the 5th branch of Lord Chaitanya tree. And he accompanied the Lord. From the beginning, the Lord started Sankirtan at night in Srivas Thakur's house. And then the Lord took sannyas and he went to Jagannath Puri. So Vakishwar Pandit also accompanied him. And even in Puri, Vakishwar Pandit is also accompanying him all the time. And he was there, even the Lord first met Sanatana Rupa Goswamis in Ramakeli. And his main contribution, everyone, whenever talking about Vakishwar Pandit, it is ecstatic dancing. He can dance with very, very astounding, wonderful spiritual perseverance for 72 hours without eating and drinking. And his dancing is not only a manifestation of expertise, of skills, but it is a manifestation of his spiritual realization and his deep devotion to the Lord. And one time, after a long time dancing, he catch the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and saying, please give me 10,000 Gandharvas, and then I can dance to the full extent of my heart. Actually, whenever he's dancing, if he's with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu is singing for him, and then he's dancing. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also catching him and saying, you are just like one of my winds. If I have another one like you, then I can fly in the sky. And there's a very important pastime related to him. That is, by serving him, Devananda Pandit, he removed his offenses to Srivas Thakur. So because of time limit, I'm now going to elaborate on this point. And the important conclusion we could draw from Vakreshwar Pandit's disappearance day is serving the Lord's devotees is more important than serving the Lord. Because in the same Chaitanya Bhagavatam in Antya Lila chapter 3, if we read the verses from 485 to 487, it is mentioned that if you serve the Lord, the servants of the Lord, maybe they will get perfection, maybe they won't get perfection. The result is not sure. But for those who are very much attached to serving the lotus feet of the Lord's servants, for sure they will get perfection. So this is something we can also remember. And then the last point, the categorical division of the Vedas. Srila Prabhupada especially mentioned Mahabharata. It's also a division of the Vedas, and the less intelligent people in the society, they can avail themselves of the Vedic instructions simply by studying the Mahabharata. Actually, it's very interesting Vidura is mentioning this point to Maitreya Muni, because we know that he came back after a long pilgrimage. And during his pilgrimage, actually he met his father, biological father, Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva told him all the contents of Mahabharata. So he understood this Mahabharata is also prepared to purify the people in the varṇāśrama dharma, because the people in the varṇāśrama dharma are all conditioned souls. So they are very much intrigued to some mundane topics like love story, some murder, some politics. And so because they would relish such things with great taste, and the Mahabharata is full of all these things. You can find the most romantic loving stories, and you can find the murders, and you can find so many intrigues of politics, and then it would attract us. But because everything is related to Krishna's activities, so we know that Krishna's nama, Krishna's rupa, Krishna's lila, Krishna's dharma, dham, and Krishna's all paraphernalias. Everything is the same, on the same level. There's no difference. So by hearing, reading, chanting his pastimes, and it's none different than we absorb our mind completely on Lord Krishna himself. And thus we can get the benefit. And what is the result? We can slowly get to the platform of prema. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your patience. So maybe one question or correction or addition, please. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much for the nice class. You were speaking the glories of chanting the holy names, and then you described the 4 types of karma, and also you described how honoring the appearance and disappearance days is destroying the sinful activities. I somehow felt like there is an emphasis on the karma aspect of the benefits either from chanting or doing devotional activities. But the question becomes, can we chant in such a way that we can ignore all the rules and derive the benefit just from chanting? And also,
can you say this very slowly, because there's some echo, so I cannot fully grasp the question. Okay. You're mentioning the questions like, can we chant in such a way? And then?
Can we chant, or are we really chanting in such a manner where we can actually ignore the rules and regulations. You were describing that it's very difficult to follow the rules and regulations and actually derive the benefit solely from chanting the holy names and actually, not focusing so much on the karma aspect, but actually attaining bhakti through chanting. Is it practically possible for us?
Hare Krishna, very good question. Thank you so much. And to this question, my answer is yes and no. Yes means if we can chant like Haridas Thakur, we can certainly simply chant and then ignore all the rules and regulations. And on the other hand, I say no, because very rare among all of us we can chant like Haridas Thakur. So we have to follow rules and regulations, and especially according to the instructions of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you have to follow whatever your platform is. You cannot jump. You cannot jump just like Arjuna. He is a Kshatriya, but he wants to jump to the platform of Brahmana. But then Krishna told him, you must fight. Your nature decided you have to fight. If you don't fight on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, when you see some beggars, they are mistreated, and then you will fight for them. So this is your nature. It's like your svabhava. And so in this case, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur said we have to follow whatever rules and regulations we have to. And unless we come to a higher level, then we can ignore those lower principles. And also the rules. Among all the rules, we may feel so difficult to follow. But there's a very simple one. That is the rule of all the rules. That is to always try to remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And since this is the principal rule, like mother rule of all the other rules, so a spiritual master's main focus is to help his disciples to achieve this goal. And these rules and regulations, if we divide according to the shastras, actually, rules is called vidhi, is something we have to do. And the regulations is called nisheda. Nisheda is something we have to avoid. Just like we say that we have to cultivate our devotional service, ṛṣīṇāṁ. And this anu we have to follow the previous acharyas. And shīla-nam we have to actively practice. And actively practice are from two ways. One is the active way, and the other way is an active way. The active activities are called parvritti, and the negative activities are called nivritti. And the parvritti is something that we have to do some certain activities in order to achieve a certain goal. And nivritti means there are some activities we have to avoid. So to avoid harming ourselves in that particular circumstances. And who can decide at what stage what we should do? That is the duty of our spiritual masters. And Srila Prabhupada is so merciful, established a system of ISKCON. And then everyone at the time of initiation, we got simple instructions. Just at least every day chanting the 16 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, and follow the 4 regulative principles, read Srila Prabhupada's books, and associate with the devotees. In this way, we slowly progress. Even if we are not qualified, Srila Prabhupada has the key of the back door of the spiritual world. Thank you so much. Grantor, if we have further discussions, maybe we can discuss privately. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Grantor Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Go to